Taxi!
Have you, or anyone that you know, ever had trouble hailing a cab? If your answer is no, then you might have white privilege. Here's how it works.
Clearly see your child when you look at him. Look at David, age 9.
From the moment a white person is born, they're afforded certain privileges. While the extent and nature of their privilege varies from country to country, one thing's consistent. If you're white, society be like, you out here winning. So what's white privilege? In the words of Peggy McIntosh, a white scholar who started studying white privilege in the 1980s, white privilege is an invisible package of unearned assets that I can count on cashing in each day, but about which I was meant to remain oblivious. In her essay, White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack, McIntosh even detailed dozens of examples of white privilege that she experiences in day-to-day life. For example, white folks are able to turn on the television and see someone who looks just like them. She even details things like being able to find band-aids that match her skin. And it works in 3 distinct ways. First, white privilege provides white people with perks. Some perks go unnoticed, like being able to actually use complimentary shampoo and conditioner at a hotel. These perks lead to a sense of entitlement because whiteness is the standard. Imagine how white women would react if hotels only carried shea moisture. White privilege also creates measurable advantages. A white person is more likely to be approved for loans than black folks, and that's part of what has led to disparities in home ownership. Under 42% of black folks are homeowners compared to 72% of white folks. And what about jobs? With the exception of Asian men, all groups make less than white men when we talk about median hourly earnings. This especially impacts black women. Black women make 62 cents for every dollar that white men make, and we also make 79 cents for every dollar that white women make. Not to mention that white people are able to profit off of industries that have historically penalized black folks. Just look at marijuana. According to the ACLU, the use of weed is pretty much the same among black and white people, yet black folks are nearly 4 times as likely to be arrested for possession. When it comes to banking off of the billion-dollar industry, black folks are shut out. About 1% of dispensary owners in the US are black. Yep, that has white privilege written all over it. And folks, we're only talking about weed here. The fact that there are major disparities in incarceration rates based on race is no surprise. Finally, white privilege has pretty much come to shape everyone's view of history. Everything we've ever learned in schools, every face on our cash money, damn near every page in textbooks centers white people and has been written from the white perspective. These are the faces of our nation's heroes. Why does this matter, you say? Well, white privilege literally affects everything.
Income, education, employment, incarceration, spending, housing, and even assembling.
Real talk. Do we think that a black person can protest while being armed and live to see the next day? These unearned handouts afforded to white folks are completely real, and the effects of white privilege are measurable. In the words of Damon Young, editor-in-chief of Very Smart Brothers, what white privilege means for white people is that their whiteness hasn't been a social, political, professional, financial, or legal hindrance. They have the privilege of the benefit of the doubt, which manifests as the privilege to just be. So now that you know, are we gonna dismantle white privilege or not? Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk.